This is KGL and welcome back everyone to Surviving the Aftermath, Outposts 1.2. In the last episode we left off right at the beginning of a heat wave. An intense oppressive heat takes over the area as moisture evaporates. Colonists struggle to keep hydrated and cool while working. Plants wither and cracks. Colonists will drink the double amount of water, so this means whatever our base consumption is needs to be double. Our base consumption was 28, so in this case it's going to be in the 40s. Our crop yields on open fields will suffer. This is not a huge concern. We still can get a full growth cycle through a heat wave. It does slow down, but we will retain about 80% of the crop. If you are really low on food, you might want to consider harvesting berries at this time, but really the crop yield on open field suffering is not that huge. As we do that, we'll go through the next steps of getting our colony up and running for long-term survival. So stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and unpause our game. Once again, we're going to take a quick look at our statistics and make sure our colonists are okay. Everybody seems to be at optimal health. We got a couple of people that are below 100, but overall it looks like everybody's good. We're good on resources, we're good on food. We could use some more water before the heat wave, but I think we'll be okay. We are producing 13 water, our consumption is 18. When this heat wave will hit us, we'll go up to a consumption of roughly 36, so let's try to plant down another well. We'll look for an area of at least, it looks like we're only going to get about 50%. We'll go ahead to the world map and check our specialist. Go explore over here. Ooh, alright. So our specialist just discovered our first town, Greentown. It has the available resources of wood, carrots, and bread to trade. If we go back to our colony, we can go into our tech tree. We have bartering, which allows us to set up trade routes between other towns that we discover on the map. So eventually, as we progress and unlock our technology, we'll be able to set up trade routes and be able to gain additional supplies, which will be our wood, carrots, and bread. We'll go ahead and speed up our game. Looks like everything is going to be as good as it can be for the next step. Alright, we got a new group of visitors at the gate. Let's see what they want. Ooh, we get another specialist. We got colony healing, which is great. We got exploration of 5. She's a little bit slow, but we'll go ahead and take them. They're going to bring some food. They only bring a child. This seems like a good balance of adults to children. We'll go ahead and accept this and take them in. And we'll go ahead and set up a new emergency shelter. It's not critical that we get this up before the heat wave, but it will help with our rest. We'll go back to our outer world map, we'll take our new specialist, and we'll go ahead and explore in a different direction. We're going to go ahead and take our scout, and we're going to go ahead and attack this enemy. Now, as of right now, I will be honest with you, I quite don't understand how the attack stats work. It seems like most of it is random. You can have a power of 4 and still do quite a significant amount of damage. As you see, we're doing 8 to 13 damage. We have a power of 4. He has a defense of 3, so that means we're going to do at least 1 more damage than whatever we have to output. But we don't really have an indication of health. I'll probably come back and make a quick tip. But once we defeat him, you notice we'll see we have resources as components. We'll be able to pick those up and bring them back. I'll make a quick tip later going into more detailed combat. Still have another specialist actually. Let's go ahead and send her out to this nomad. Go ahead and pick up that plastic when we can. Alright, we have 0 days before the heat wave. Looks like we're all set and ready though. We can look at our water storage. We have 2100 water, which is great. In case we do not meet our production demands, we still have enough water in storage to survive this catastrophic event. We'll go ahead and take a couple workers off these farms. We're going to reassign them to anything else that might need more. Doesn't look like anything. Alright, looks like we got some boxes piling up at the front gate. I don't think there's anything we can do about that right now. We are getting supplies quicker than what we're using, and in this case a lot of these supplies are going to stay here until we consume them. We don't have any of our advanced storage buildings yet. When we have our security, we'll be able to build general storage, and we'll be able to get more of those boxes into general storage. Alright, we're going back out in the outer world. We're going to look for science. Our next goal right now, what we really want to start doing next is getting our production up. We want to start our energy production, get into junk recycling so we can start going into more advanced structures. We need to eventually get burrowing so we can get into these deep underground materials. Alright, we'll go ahead and grab these components. We'll go ahead and grab this plastic. As you notice, as we're grabbing these materials, next to our specialists we have this icon. This tells us what our specialist is holding. We will not be able to drop off these materials until we physically go back to our colony or research frontier outposts within the world for our specialists to drop off resources. We're getting low on food, but I think we'll be okay. We have a wandering merchant. Ooh. Now this wandering merchant has one of the most valuable items in the game, and that is soybeans. Soybeans have a high crop yield and a high food output. So even though this is going to cost us 28 metal, which is a highly valuable resource, right now this is amazing. If you ever see soybeans early game, immediately grab them. We're going to go ahead and set up our crop rotations to go into soybeans next. As you see, we have a growth rate of normal, but a high yield. We'll keep a crop diversity, we'll keep potatoes, and we'll plant another crop here soon. We'll go ahead and plant a field of corn. We want to make sure that we have a diverse food group. That way, if any traders come to our gate, we have plenty of options to give their resources that they may have for trade. Alright, we'll go ahead and select corn. In a couple of days, you'll see our food probably double. Alright, we'll go back into the outer world, go up here. These components are going to be good for us late game. They'll help us build our electrical equipment such as batteries, solar panels, and hazmat cleanup. Alright, we're going to go ahead and look for another area to plant another sub-colony. As we grow, we want to try to keep our colony in groups. If we have too many people in one area, it could get a little bit overcoming as far as where they need to go as medical tents and where they need to go get food. We have some more people at the gate. We'll go ahead and let them in. So we're going to look for another area that has food, scrap, concrete. We have some concrete over here, which is great. We got some scrap metal. Looks like somewhere out here, maybe. Go ahead and go up with our path and find a nice little path out there. I think we'll go somewhere up here. Go ahead and build a storage house, stockpile. Got some food storage. We'll go ahead and put down a tent. So anybody managing stuff over here doesn't have to walk from the primary camp. They can just come straight out to here. Let's use tents for now. We'll go back to the outer world, and once again we'll go into state. Alright everybody, so at this point of the gameplay, it's going to slow down and we're going to pretty much go ahead and explore. We'll slow down about day 30, we'll see how our colony is, and we'll continue from there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and establish a forester at this point. We need a forester so we can keep on producing wood. As we collect all the wood on our map, we will start to run out. The areas that we're going to go ahead and forest are these darker ground with trees. We can also go ahead and replant these areas as well, but as you see, the dry hard ground, these are areas that you will not be able to replant in. However, you still will be able to harvest the wood. So it's important as you place down buildings. I wasn't very careful, but as you place down buildings, you do take out resources, so be aware. If you want to min-max your resource, try not to hit trees as you place down your buildings. As you see, the tree will light up with a little green indicator at the base of the tree. We're still going to do it anyway because I really have no choice on where I can put this right now. We're going to put it right here. Gonna go ahead and see what our colonists need. We're going to go ahead and give them fiber. It's always a benefit. Like I said, whatever you can give your colonists happiness, always go ahead and do so. Alright, looks like we're going to get this last little bit of science. We're going to go ahead and go down into this desert area. Got medical equipment. Right now we're just looking for science so we can start to unlock on our tree. Now we're going to go ahead and unlock bartering. We want to set up our trade routes right now since we already explored a town early game. And we'll go ahead and set up our first trade center. It doesn't matter where we have our trade center placed, we just need to have workers assigned. Alright, some things I'm looking at right now while I browse over the colony. I'm looking at for resources. I'm looking to make sure that our colonists are following our paths in our most optimal way. I'm looking for anything that might be along the paths, and I'm looking for an area that I'm going to put my waste station. I'm also looking where I'm going to do my primary cleanup, which will be focused in this area. So as we start to gain science, we'll go back into our tech tree. We're going to go back into production. We're going to go ahead and research energy production. Go ahead and take on these next survivor group. Anytime we get a survivor group with a specialist, just go ahead and accept them. If they do not have a specialist, reject them, unless you need the manpower early game. We'll go ahead and fully staff our medical tents at this point, and we'll go ahead and establish another medical tent for that area that is a little bit further. We'll go ahead and sort out our pathing. We'll go ahead and establish max trade. Alright, so now to establish trades in between our colony, remember we go down to our trade menu, and we just simply click on the items we want, and click, and they'll go ahead and set up their trade routes. We get as many trade routes as we have trade centers, so for every worker, we have a trade route. As you notice, we are on day 24, and we have more than doubled our food because of these soybeans. Soybeans are life. We'll go ahead and remove this recycling area. Looks like we're starting to get most of our plastics cleaned up. We'll check our scrapper also. Alright, we're going to bring back our specialist. Alright, one of the things you're going to know about the specialist is if you select them and you notice they have a point on them, they're automatically going to go to this point through this day cycle. So we don't have to continuously go back to the outer world map. We just have to say go back to home or go back to whatever point, and they will automatically go. We'll give another example over here. This lady, let's tell her to come back home. She'll automatically start to walk back home, and as you see, this is her route. So as this ticks down every day or every tick, they will move their set distance back to that direction. So if we come back in the next couple of ticks, we'll notice that she'll be in our colony in a short while. Let's go back to our text tree, make sure we don't have anything else we need to research. We'll go ahead and research communal living at this point. We want to try to get up to remembrance so we can get our paved roads. Paved roads will give us a 50% boost in walking speed. This will make our carriers quicker from point A to point B to drop off and pick up objects such as food or supplies. Alright, our specialist just reached our colony and dropped off supplies. Metal deposit has depleted. We'll go ahead and move our scrap area once again. We are running out of scrap quickly. We're actually running out of scrap quicker than I normally would, which means hopefully we start getting science, because we gotta get our boring machines up and going. Alright, we'll go ahead and check our specialist. We're gonna immediately send her back out. We're gonna go ahead and look for some more science. We're going to go ahead and establish a tailor. This will help produce clothes. We consume clothing approximately every 30 days. Looks like we hit another heat wave. I'm not really worried about this heat wave, although we did gain a little bit of population, which means we do need to establish a couple more wells. So let's do that really quickly. Here is a nice wet spot. Who's this? Oh, don't have anything, unfortunately. And let's go ahead and build some additional towers. We're really going to want to start stocking up on water as we start to grow our population. We're going to meet a part of the game where we're going to have to start boring for water. So having a huge water reserve before then will be hugely beneficial for us late game. Alright, go back out into our outer world. We're going to go ahead and send him there. We'll send her off. Just go do some more exploring, and she'll go off in this direction. Alright, Heatwave will be here in one day. Man, this is like my third catastrophe in like 30 days. That's crazy. One every 10 days. I think that's the first I've had it happen every 10 days. This is also the first I've nearly run out of metal. Oh no. So our next goal for our tech tree is going to be full into production. We want to try to get into industrial mining right away. Due to the fact that we have low resources on our map and lower than average metal, we're going to go ahead and go into that right now. Alright, so here's an example of a survivor group without a specialist. You notice we don't have a specialist right here, so we're going to go ahead and reject them because they're useless meat bodies. Do we have full farmers yet? Not yet. Oh, we don't have enough. Oh, we could have used those people. I guess we could have used those people. Alright, one of the things you might notice is why I haven't built any of my solar panels, battery racks, or any of my other electrical equipment. Electrical equipment is very easily damaged through ion storms, so it is important that we only produce our electrical equipment as we need it. It is high in maintenance, it is super expensive, and it costs rare resources, so we're going to put off that as much as possible. Our primary goal for the first 30 days is mostly material farming, stocking up on food, making sure we have a good setup foundation to explode outwards from. Pretty soon we're going to hit a population boom. All our colonists have been surviving rather well and are going to start having children, so we will not have to accept many colonists coming in. We will have to start managing the colony, however, within itself. I need science, please. Ooh, here's another trade city. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and establish another trade center. And this one trades science, which is amazing. Go ahead for that bread and science right now. And it looks like we're starting to produce children, which means we now need more tents. We're gonna go ahead and attack this guy. Does he have anything good, actually? He has components. We'll take him. We're gonna return him to our colony. You notice as our specialists go into combat, they do wear down in health. The only way they can replenish their health is if they go back to the colony. So we're gonna go ahead and head him back. And that's gonna be it, guys. That is the next 15 days in Surviving the Aftermath, Outposts 1.2. Of course, we found 2 colonies that we could set up trade routes with. We went over a little bit on combat and how to pick up resources within the world. We went through our tech tree and what paths we're gonna go based off this playthrough. We're running quickly out of metal. I think we've harvested most of the metal off this map, which means the remaining metal is going to go into production. We're going to have to go into these underground metal resource areas to start growing our colony a little bit larger, and we're going to have to establish more colony pods further separated from this main area. To day 60 is our point where we need to establish for a population boom. Because we're not having die-off, this means all our workers are producing children, which means we're going to have a lot of children come 60 days. We might double our population. So be aware of that as you grow your population. You might be tempted to accept every survivor group that comes to your gate, but in reality, your colonists will reproduce. If you end up in a situation where you have too many colonists reproducing, you're just gonna starve yourself to death and your colony will collapse. The next episode we'll go into cleaning up our paths, optimizing our colony a little bit more, and some other stuff. I want to thank you guys for watching this episode of Surviving the Aftermath. Remember to hit that bell, click subscribe, and leave a like. See you next time.